It was a man who came to my bed that night, but when I looked into his eyes, I saw the other, though even he did not know at the time. I did not hear the man's voice, no. I heard the other, the one that has been with me for all these years. I gave myself to him. The first time I saw a witch, she burned. Father took me to the town square to see it. Look, he said, that is the face of evil. But she looked like any other woman, and burned like anything else. Then the flames engulfed her. Her eyes found mine, and she laughed. My father could never understand. He was born into privilege and wealth, and he spent every moment of his life trying to protect it. I was his flesh and blood, but he cared more about the names in books and the faces of the paintings on the walls than his living daughter. Do you know what fear is? The fear of who you are. The fear of what your own blood would do if they knew what you were. No, you could never understand it. People look to you as a savior. Have you ever thought about the lives you've taken? They were fathers, lovers, daughters. They asked me what I see when I look into the fire. I see a burning man. I see a burning witch. I see terror and a hunger that will consume everything. What hope do the works of men have against such all-consuming hunger? I gave myself to the flames. Leah was never my daughter. She was Diablo's daughter, in truth. I felt blessed to have given the product of my body to my master. He had no interest in me, but in the product of my womb he found life again. I never flinched when I knew her purpose. Daughters are a cheap thing. The first time I heard him, his voice pierced my skull. It reminded me of the cold and haughty sound of my father. But it was more, a crush of thousands of voices. When I heard him, I saw the flame, and I knew fear. My father burned. He screamed as the flames consumed him, and the smell was sickly sweet. He had found me. For once in his life he had noticed me, and when he saw that the flames did not touch me, he breathed one word. It was his last. Witch, they called me, but I turned it against them. When their daughter had a child that needed to disappear, when there was a sickness that none of the healers could cure, who was it they pleaded with? When they needed me, the morality they flaunted in the daylight disappeared, as it always does. Diablo will return. I have done what I can to ensure it. He always finds a way. In your heart of hearts, you know this.
Greetings, Nephilim. Though you have defeated many powerful foes, there remains much to be done. This is a map of Sanctuary and the realms beyond. From here, you can select a region to view it in greater detail. This map displays the different places you can go within the region. Locations marked by an exclamation point have bounties for you to undertake. Bounties are the many tasks and challenges which require your attention. In return for completing them, you will be rewarded with powerful items. Good luck, Nephilim. Sanctuary has need of you.
Did you help Tyrael steal the Black Soulstone from heaven?
I did, but I was not in the tomb when Malthael struck. That's my friend Humbard. He's a skull. Please ignore him. That's enough, Humbard.
Who is this?
Zayl helped Tyrael steal the Black Soulstone from heaven. Zayl! I am glad you are well.
If he was, Zayl would have shown that angel what it means to cross a necromancer.
I am Zayl, a necromancer who seeks to maintain the balance.
Plus, he's a Haradrim.
What are you doing out in the bog?
The sickness here is Adria, and I mean to kill her.
Even after she is slain, equilibrium will not immediately be restored. It will take time.
Always so serious.
This place has fallen to deep imbalance. Something is very wrong here, and I wish to heal the land.
Well, that's taken care of. Let's go get a drink.
Why are you out here? This bog is poisoned by the blood magic of a witch named Adria. I am going to kill her.
I fear that Mephisto is no more. His soul was destroyed on the Hellforge. I am sorry, Crusader. Leah told me of your crusade to find the source of corruption in the Zakarum faith. I may have information that will help you. Mephisto, Lord of Hatred, spent many years trapped under Travancore and slowly tainted the Zakarum in a bid for freedom.
In the eastern kingdom of Khezistan, I heard rumors of Zakarum warriors called Crusaders. While the natives were most reticent, I was able to deduce that this order was founded 200 years ago, just as Rakkis took his army of paladins west. But these Crusaders went east on a very different mission. My studies indicate that a high-level cleric of the Zakarum named Cain began to sense the corruption that was eating away at the heart of his faith. He knew this corruption would eventually destroy his beloved church, and that he must take action. After much prayer, Cain hit upon the idea of an order of Crusaders. Cain gathered the most devout, driven, and martial Zakarum adherents. He taught them to channel the power of light in the same way that the newly founded paladins were being trained. But these recruits, these Crusaders, were given insight into the primal powers of Zakarum in a way no paladin ever was. When the Crusaders had learned all they could, Cain sent them out into the world, seeking a way to cleanse the corruption that coiled at the heart of the Zakarum faith. There was no clear goal for them to pursue, and some clerics claimed it was a fool's errand, that they could never succeed. But these Crusaders would not be deterred. The Crusaders swore an oath to dedicate their lives to the search. None believed that they would be the one to end the crusade by finding and cleansing the corruption. They believed the search ennobled them, that the discipline of their life and journey was the true goal. The Crusader was meant to find meaning in the quest itself. Each and every Crusader was a warrior of rare strength. They had mastered the power of light, of weapon and shield, and of self. Each was sworn to live as a Crusader and to die as one. 200 years ago, they took their apprentices and set out into the eastern swamplands. They were never heard from again. Until now. Rumors swirl that the Crusaders have returned, and that they mean to go to the west. But who are these tall, blonde warriors? They look nothing like the Crusaders who set out from Travancore 200 years ago. And those who inhabit the ruins of that ancient city suspect trickery. I recently met a returning Crusader, and now I understand. Each Crusader took an apprentice. When a Crusader fell, his apprentice would take up his armor, his place in the order, and even his very name. When the first generation of Crusaders fell, their own apprentices took up their identities, and so it has continued for 200 years. Of the original 427 Crusaders who disappeared into the east, 341 return. Do they still seek the redemption of their faith? How will they react to the destruction of the city that birthed their crusade? Will they continue west to the lands of Westmarch? What does their return portend?
My journey has led me to the west. This land is as perilous as I thought. Evil is drawn to it like a lodestone. It is perfect. There will be many artifacts. With time, I can gather enough of them to realize the Covenant's aspirations. Until then, I shall keep to the shadows. Even in death, a king has power. The ruler of Tristram fell once and rose twice. His eldest son also met death and walked again, and so followed his son's daughter, with dire consequence. Now, I present the skull of Leoric to the Covenant, in hopes that its remaining power serves us well. 2 witches there were, united in evil, but divided in purpose. 2 masters they served, both hidden in shadow and reborn in flesh. And 2 deaths they will meet by one hand. This same hand has brought much to me, and I believe that it is only the beginning.
Leave, Nephilim! You are not needed here. We will settle our differences later.
There is no time for this. Malthael grows more powerful by the minute.
Do not interfere with me again.
Let's get on to fighting Malthael before he becomes too powerful.
I am waiting until you deserve thanks. It could be quite a long time.
Feel free to thank me when you have a moment.
But I saved the heavens, killed Diablo, hunted down Adria, and now we spill blood together as fellow warriors. What made you hate humans so much? Sounds like you lost a fight to one.
No.
I know how you feel about mankind, Imperius. Let us put old hatreds behind us.
You have no regard for humanity, and I do not care for most angels.
You are slavering half-demon vermin who never should have drawn breath. Thousands remain scattered throughout Pandemonium. They are the remnants of battles past. Do you imagine I would be standing here with you if I could?
How did these demons get here? My battles do not have remnants. Clearly the angels need to be more thorough. Can't you simply fly into the fortress with those wings of yours?
The Pandemonium fortress lies below.
The fields below are swarming with demons. Many angels are still trapped out there. If you want to be useful, you could free them. I will not be stopped! Stand aside, Nephilim. Tremble before the might of heaven! This cannot bar me! For valor! Die, you fools! The filth of hell! Meet your end! I will triumph! More glory on the battlefield! A weak distraction! Such weak defenses! Evil defeats itself! Pathetic demons! None can stay my advance! So easy Tyrael could do it! I will punish him for that as well.
Huh. You're saying it wasn't because he smashed your lovely gate?
Now Malthael has defied that resolution and disgraced the honor of the angels. He must be punished.
Taking the soulstone from Malthael is not enough. He must die for what he has done.
Then you must save Thamir, not me. He is an archangel and a member of the Anguirus Council. He will come to his senses eventually.
Tyrael may be willing to answer your endless questions, but I most certainly am not.
You can see it with your own eyes when I break open the gates.
But I called for a sortie and flung open the gate. Seconds later, I was on the bridge attacking the ram. Many angels fell that day, but the fortress did not. When they marched on us, some thought we could not hold. Baal's army was closing around us, their siege weapons in tow. Baal commanded an assault on the fortress when we last held it. His minions dragged the ram here from the depths of the hells. What an astounding coincidence! The angelic host has arrived, and here you are with the blood of the fallen siege lords. Very well. Raise the ram!
There you are, my friend. I see you and Imperius have been quite busy. I can hardly say that I am surprised.
You, Nephilim, help Tyrael on the ram. I will defend the skies above you.
The angelic host is ready to attack at our command.
They call me a hero. I slew demons beyond count. I won battles and broke sieges, but it availed me nothing. I know that this war can have no victor, only an eternity of revenge, pride, and hatred. Tyrael does not understand. He cannot see beyond the glory of battle. In time he may, but that day is not yet here. There must be others who seek a way out of the endless strife. Angels and demons who feel enslaved by our fate. I cannot be unique in all of creation. I know my path. I will find those disillusioned of the war and lead them. I was struck down in the third charge. I lay upon the ground, only to wake in chains. I did not know that demons took prisoners. I babbled like a fool about my dreams of escaping this war. My captor freed me and said that we would meet again. Her name was Lilith, daughter of Mephisto. Lilith is me, but of fire and flame. I could never have felt this way about a demon while I was mired in the endless war. The strain holds us prisoner to what we've been told to believe. She and I have made plans. We will bring others to our cause, and together we will escape. Those who follow us are strong in purpose and conviction, but we are only few. Yet if we can obtain the power of the World Stone, it will be enough. We will scale the wind-sheer slope, steal into the heart of the fortress, and be gone before anyone notices the stone's disappearance. Can I truly love a demon? When I gave the World Stone to Lilith, I knew I'd been right to seek her all along. We have created a new world. We can live here in peace, away from war. I have named this world Sanctuary. When I see Lilith sleeping at my side, I'm filled with dark thoughts. My sins are real, and I will surely pay for them. We live in peace for now, but it cannot last. They will come for me. But what of my great deeds? When I'm in torment, who will celebrate those? Who will remember Inarius?
My father is content to fight the same battles and the same foes while everything turns to ashes. Though his victories might last a day, or a year, or 100 years, the war will never be won so long as he and his brothers lead. There is an end to it, but fools like my father are too blind to see it. I took a prisoner in the battle, an angel whose light was dimming. I brought him to my lair for my amusement. He surprised me. My touch seemed to breathe life into him. He raved like a madman about how he wished to escape the war. Perhaps I have found someone I can use. The angel I captured, Inarius, is in love with me. I can feel the intensity of his desire. I told him that we must liberate the World Stone, and then we can be together. We will create something never imagined by those mired in the eternal conflict. A new world. Inarius and I stole the World Stone, and now we have a group of renegades to follow us. I have created a new world where we can live in peace. A place of infinite possibilities. Inarius believes that escape is enough. In time, I will show him that even victory is possible. But first, I will give him children.
I heard a sound and did not know what it was. I sought wisdom in the chalice, but there was none. The sounds called to me, and I knew them. Human souls. But where? I brought myself to Sanctuary, where humans dwell, but the souls did not call me from that place. I searched the breath of creation, always following the sound. Always the sound. And then I understood. Pandemonium, where the World Stone once rested. The souls swirl and writhe. I now know the truth of mortals. All paths lead to death. Whatever their struggles, whatever their triumphs, they die. That is wisdom. The souls of man show their potential for greatness. They can stand for good like any angel in heaven, or they can enact evil worthy of the lowest demon of hell. The power of such a choice should not rest in the hearts of beings who are here for an instant, then flare and die. The humans cannot be trusted. They are born of angel and demon, but demons pervert whatever they touch. The humans are corrupt and are not worthy of the choice between good and evil. Angels and demons do not choose as it should be. A Nephilim trapped the prime evil in the Black Soul Stone. This is the perfect moment to end the eternal conflict. The demons are easy prey, but the humans must be eliminated before they grow too strong. The Soul Stone is the perfect weapon. The eternal conflict will end.
Pandemonium is the Alpha and the Omega of the eternal conflict. It lies at the center of all things, linking the realms of heaven and hell. Long ago, when the angels were young, the aspect of wisdom found the Eye of Anu here. He named it the World Stone, and all of heaven swore to protect it. Pandemonium was destined to be our battlefield. It was formed in the chaos of the last struggle between the Diamond Warrior Anu and the Dragon Tathamet. Now eons of war have scarred every patch of ground. The cycle of victory and defeat is the foundation of our existence and the essence of the eternal conflict. As war raged through Pandemonium, the aspect of justice called for a fortress to be raised around the World Stone. We built a shining citadel, but in time it fell to the demons. It has since changed hands countless times, becoming a patchwork of angelic and demonic expression. The Pandemonium Fortress housed the World Stone for many years, until the angel Inarius and the demon Lilith stole it away. With its loss, there was nothing left to fight for, and the fortress has been abandoned since. Our time in this land has drawn to an end, for now.
Death comes, Nephilim. The Soul Stone is a born sanctuary. The blood of demons will soon be gone from all creation. You will be the last of your kind for a few moments. The end is inevitable. All that is born must die. You are imbued with the power of death.
But that is not the only weapon I possess. But that will not save you.
Destruction reigns upon you. The power of destruction is mine. My brothers will not have died in vain. Do you fear death, Nephilim? The power of the Lord of Terror is mine. The fear of death is all-consuming. I am Legion. Mephisto's cunning and hatred answer to me. Your kind cannot be suffered to live. You are too late.
Then Malthael's death will have released Diablo. He is free. Where is the Black Soul Stone?
Malthael consumed it and took Diablo's soul.
Something tells me this will be my most interesting family yet. Such adventure, pain and sorrow. I must find a way to cheer you all up. For someone who holds the world's fate in your hands, you can be a little slow, can't you? I'm talking about all of you. Lyndon, Cormac, Irina, Hedrig and Shen. Or, Shen, I've missed him so.
What else can I tell you? I had a vision of death blanketing our world, so I left my people, my family, to come help you. Nonsense! We veteran often receive visions telling us when it is time to find a new family. I've had many in my life. I still love and miss each and every one of them, except for Jonah. I never really liked that one.
I too left my home and my people. I know the pain of your sacrifice.
Leaving your family based simply on a vision must have been a very difficult thing to do.
It was no sacrifice. We veteran often receive visions telling us when it is time to find a new family.
You have had an interesting life.
I actually knew Hadrig when he and his soon-to-be wife traveled with the Vetchin. She was beautiful. She had mystical powers of her own. We were friends, but there was nothing I could do. So I shared my wine. We laughed. We danced. I taught her a thing or two. Eventually they were married. It was then that I had a horrific vision of what would befall them. I wanted them to be happy for as long as possible before. She never spoke to me about it, but I think she knew. We were frequently set upon by bandits. It became quite tiresome, really. Our wagon train came to a dying village once. The people threw rocks and jeered. There was only one poor family who welcomed us. I charmed my way into the mayor's office and told him that his village would soon be wealthier than he could imagine. He threw me out. He thought I was trying to rob him. Well, my vision showed me where the gold deposits were, but not who would find them. One time, I had had enough. I know this is hard to believe, but when I was younger, I was even more vivacious than I am now. So I seduced their leader, convinced him to free us by giving him details on how he could rob a local magistrate. He'd heard the Vetchin could predict the future, so he believed me. They were caught and hung 3 days later.
Your eyes gleam with wisdom, Miriam. You have seen much in this life.
So I told the family who had shown us kindness where to dig. They are quite wealthy now.
Cursed am I to lead an army of the blind. They do not perceive that the angels are fleeing this realm, and the ones they find are merely trapped or lost. A great change is upon us. Withdraw from the fields, my brothers. Some battles can only be won with words.
Enough of your idle speculation, Fizdale. I breached the fortress and saw it firsthand. The Whirlstone is gone. The angels I killed knew nothing about it. But since you are so perceptive, maybe you remember who else has been missing. Lilith. We must find her. Rip her limb from limb. Take the Whirlstone back.
You are all deceived, my brothers. The new age has already begun. Can you not sense them? Ugly creatures born in shadow. They feel terror, hatred, and the desire to destroy. Yes, but they are not ours yet. They will open their world to us very soon, an invitation we cannot refuse.
I have uncovered and obscured an ancient tome in whose pages is recorded an impossible tale, the secret history of a race called the Nephilim, gods by another name, and their ruined civilization in the West. If this is true, how could all signs of these Nephilim be lost, but for the record of this single tome? The Nephilim were not gods, but our own ancestors, gifted with long life, magic, and abilities far beyond ours. Yet they were still men. I wonder if these pages hold the key to unlock their powers once again. I will bring the light of Zakarum to the heathens. Here in the east the power of Zakarum wanes, but in the west it will rise, stronger and greater than ever. Yet I have another purpose. The lost Nephilim city of Corvus lies in the west. I will find it. We founded a settlement near the Western Sea. It will grow to be a great city in time. Now that my people are settled, I can begin my own search for the ruins of the Nephilim city, Corvus. The tome implied that it was near this very region. We have begun searching the marsh for the ruins of Corvus. This stinking, festering swamp is punctuated by worn blocks of stone. Perhaps these ancient sentinels are all that remain of the proud Nephilim city. No, there is more to be found. I know it. Last night, I found the ruined Nephilim city. When I stepped into the buried catacombs, I felt a stirring in my blood. And then a wondrous thing. A dim light began to glow all around me, not cast by any torch. It was as though the very stones acknowledged my presence. The Nephilim had such a strong connection to the light that it granted them powers far beyond our own. But I believe that through the light they can be reborn in us. Thus I have consecrated Westmarch, a shining beacon in the west. I have taken for my sigil the Wolf of Corvus, and proclaimed myself king. A decade later, the power of the Nephilim still escapes me. Something long ago stole it from them and keeps it hidden, even today. I have found mention of an artifact called the Worldstone, hidden in the barbarian lands. Now that my son is born, I have rallied my banners to ride to war against them. Years on, the barbarians remain unconquered, and I am a man grown old and frail. My life has seen the founding of Westmarch and the discovery of the Nephilim ruins, but still the deeper secrets elude me. I leave the task to my son, in whose blood shall carry forth the line of Nephilim kings.
After years of my pleading, the Angiris Council has finally agreed to send me in search of Malthael. I will not fail in this, as my master's presence is sorely needed in the high heavens. Owing to Malthael's growing fascination with the humans, Tyrael has suggested I begin my search on Sanctuary. I did not find Malthael on Sanctuary, but I did find humans. Far too many of them. They murder and cheat one another while allowing their brothers to starve. If their true power is ever released, we are all doomed. They have a choice between good and evil, and they overwhelmingly choose evil. I grew disgusted by humanity during my time on Sanctuary. When at last I found Malthael, I was not surprised to learn that he felt the same way. We will cleanse creation of the scourge that is humankind, and when we are finished, the tragic mistake of Inarius will be gone.
They say Belial is dead, but I know he cannot be. He is the Lord of Lies. We will build our army and defeat the Angel of Death to prepare for Belial's return. Malthael. Ha! Even a rogue archangel is nothing compared to our master.
How do I know you will not betray me again? Did you really think I would agree to make you immortal?
But I won't betray you. I realize now that no good can come of it. We made quite a team. If we continue to work together, we will accomplish great things.
What do you mean by great?
I did offer to share with you.
Last time we collaborated, you betrayed me.
I never betrayed you. We merely had a difference of opinion.
Great things? I shudder to think what you mean by that.
Stand back. I will open the portal. Watch your hands and feet. Be careful. Magic can be unpredictable. I love this part.
Sometimes life requires hard lessons.
You know that I always have your best interests at heart, don't you? Have you met Xenia, the most intriguing character? Surrounded by an ancient riddle whose secret may be of great value to you. Sometimes life calls for difficult choices, but I have never lied to you, so heed me in this. Be patient. I cannot open another portal for you until the Raid Guardian is defeated and everyone has returned. Many of the Horadrim's artifacts were left behind. Cain found this particular creation of mine. I often found it useful to be in several places at once, to keep an eye on things. This one was quite fortuitously placed. I can open portals to these other worlds, so you, brave hero, can destroy them and protect us as you always seem so eager to do. The fabric of creation is littered with other worlds, possibilities never meant to be, futures that will never come to pass, but sometimes fragments are left behind, and their mere presence threatens to unravel the fabric of the universe. They exist for the briefest of moments, then they disappear, consumed by the one true reality. It's been a while, hasn't it? I always had faith in you, you know. And didn't I prove to be right in the end? And now you bring to me this most curious artifact. Watch.
They said it was impossible to really kill you, but I didn't believe it.
Just as I told you. When will you learn to trust my word? It took time. Agonizing time. But I was able to reconstruct my body, one grain of sand at a time.
It seems you are as hard to kill as the stories say.
And now, here I am. I told you as much. You must learn to trust me.